All right, I think the red light is on and we are live on Facebook. Hello to our followers of the Mercy College of Health Science Facebook, alumni, faculty, students, friends. We're here today to talk about our brand new Accelerated One-Year Physical Therapy Assistant Program. My name is Andy Gruss. I'm the Director of Enrollment Management, and I'm leaping through my computer screen, happy to be here today with a few of my colleagues to share this great news. So is it brand new to the college? It's in a new format. We've had our physical therapy assistant program at the college for a long time. We have a lot of graduates in our community, and this is just an exciting step to kind of turn it a little bit and still continue to be able to deliver this program to the students of Mercy College and our Central Iowa community. With me today is Madeline Gibney, one of our admissions representatives, and Caitlin Haight. Caitlin will be working in admissions with all of our prospective students through the admissions process. And also joining is our program chair, Sue Brevard. And Sue is joining us live from our PTA lab. So I'm excited to kick things off today. I'm going to let Madeline talk about some of the admissions requirements first to our college, then into the program. And then after Sue introduces the person over her right shoulder, I had to check and kind of put myself in your seat, Sue. She's going to tell you about the program, about the student experience. So we're really hoping you leave today and have a good understanding of the change in the program, how to get in, what to do, and what it's going to be like when you're here. So Madeline, I'm going to send it to you.
I normally work with the traditional BSN program, but as we transition Caitlin into her new role, I am helping to assist. So, Caitlin.
Oh, we're having some difficulties hearing you, Madeline, Caitlin.
So I'm the new admissions counselor.
Sorry, Caitlin, it's still, I think you guys are still cutting out a little bit. You might really need to yell to get through. All right, Madeline, Caitlin, I think we're going to, we'll maybe circle back and see if we can get some better sound, but I'm going to have, at this point, Sue, I'm going to have you hop on and with no more introductions, start sharing about our program.
All right. Well, I'm Sue Brevard. I am the chair, and I have been a physical therapist for quite a while. I was here in 2007 to develop the PTA program. And at that time, it was a 5-semester program, and now our transition is to a 3-semester program. Over my shoulder is my friend Sam. He has been here on faculty almost as long as I have been. He is our resident skeleton and so useful in so many of our classes. Now, Andy, I was hoping to be able to share my screen, so we'll see if I can if I have permissions.
I have made you a co-host, so you should be able to.
Perfect. With all the stuff that I have to share, I thought it'd be easier for you to see a screen instead of me. So I'd like to talk about our PTA program. It's 3 consecutive semesters. So you enter in the fall semester, go spring and summer. So we don't have a summer break. The first, oops, hold on a second. The first semester, put Kathy here. The first semester, our fall semester, is 15 weeks in length, and we have 11 credits that are PTA. So we will be spending about 18 hours a week in class during those 15 weeks. If you have not completed the pathophysiology requirement or servant leadership, that would also have to be in this semester. So if you were admitted earlier, we would like you to take those 2 classes in the summer to lighten your load. Because again, with the PTA classes alone, we're going to be 18 hours a week in class. We'll be learning about the history of physical therapy, the role of the PTA, how the PTA was going to work with the supervising physical therapist. learn how to use crutches and walkers and canes, learning how to transfer someone or move someone from point A to point B. In our kinesiology class, that's the study of human motion. And we will learn all sorts of fascinating things about the human body. And that's when Sam is really, really helpful to us, because he is a great example of all the bony landmarks on the skeleton that we need to find, and he doesn't have skin over it. So he's very, very helpful during that time. In our 135 and 137, you can know the essential skills. So we're talking about how to collect blood pressure, heart rate, interview a patient. What do I watch for during specific movements? How do I analyze someone's walking ability or their posture? And a big part of that, those two classes, is spent using this, a goniometer. This is the tool we use to measure joints motion. And it takes a lot of the skill that we learned by working on Sam to position this correctly and know how to read it. So those are things that we do a lot in class. We have lecture and lab. And in lab time, that's when I really figure out how this looks easier to do than when I grab it myself. I will also look at balance training. How do I know what to do when someone presents with some sort of disorder that requires me to protect myself with a mask, gloves, gowns, all those types of things. So lots of fundamental information that we use every semester. So the next semester relies on this understanding material from this semester. So everything is built with a scaffolding effect. So in the spring semester, we have 15 weeks, but we divide it into 2 different blocks. In the first term, we're going to learn all about modalities. How do I put a hot pack on? How do I use ice? What do I do about electricity? What types of ways do I help with swelling and those types of interventions that patients need to control pain and increase movement? And then another big class that semester is therapeutic exercise. So this is where I learn about stretching and motion and strengthening and balance and how do I perform well during activity. And so I work on enhancing performance through exercise prescription, including aerobic capacity. Those 2 classes total 8 credits, and we're in class 22 hours a week for those credits. Then 1 day a week, you're out in the clinic practicing these things with patients under the supervision of a clinical instructor. Those classes must be passed in order to go to the 7-week term that semester. And I call this the integration semester. So now I learned all these things in the fall semester. I learned part of these options about treatment in the first part of the spring semester, and now it all comes together. So now I have a patient that presents to me, let's say with an ankle sprain, and I'm going to use all these other pieces of knowledge to know, what do I do with that patient? What stage of healing is that person in? What exercises are best? And then what exercises are best? Then can I do those exercises and perform them correctly? What types of information do I need to gather about the patient to know if the patient's making progress or if I need to make a change in the intervention? So 201 is our musculoskeletal orthopedics and skin or integumentary conditions class. Then 202 is neuromuscular and cardiopulmonary conditions. So we'll learn about someone that has a heart attack. What do I do after that? What if they have heart surgery? What if they have a lung dysfunction and have trouble catching their breath? What happens if they've had a stroke or Parkinson's or multiple sclerosis or a spinal cord injury? So lots of different patient conditions that can occur that physical therapy would be indicated for. And then we determine, how do we help that individual? The 204 professional issues class brings everything together about what does it mean to be a professional? What types of attitudes do I need to have? What types of communication skills do I need to really enhance in order to do an effective job in the clinic? In this 204 class, we also work on getting ready for licensure, because this profession requires a license and we want to make sure we're ready. In the 7-week term during this semester, we are in class about 22 hours a week in order to meet all of the items there. Once we've then satisfied fall and spring semester, we move on to the summer term, and that is also broken up into 2 smaller blocks of time. The 8-week term has a class called Issues in Clinical Practice, and then the clinicals, PTA 232 and 234, are 6.5 weeks in length, and you go every day, so 40 hours a week. And those are pretty intense opportunities to practice all the things that we had covered earlier and to see multiple examples of the patient types and conditions that we talk about in class. The issues in clinical practice help us get ready for the things that we weren't anticipating, and again, help us prepare for licensure. The final 7-week term will be our final clinical, which is again is 6.5 weeks. And that clinical results in us being ready for the job, as in we met all the entry-level requirements as defined by our profession. The seminar class is a wrap up so that we can put all the other loose ends together that we discovered on clinical and prepare for our final mock licensure opportunity. So we practiced the mock licensure exam a couple times. I have a couple take-home messages. You can probably see we've condensed a 5-semester program by having all the gen ed up front, and now we're putting all the PTA courses into 3 semesters. That means it's still rigorous because that's what our profession requires, and it's fast-paced. So it'll be really important to stay up to date in all the classes, because if we get a little behind, it's going to influence the other classes that you're taking during that block of time. Knowledge and skills are going to be assessed frequently, which means that we will have quizzes and exams, but we also have this item called skill check. So the skills, like with my goniometer or testing strength or doing an exercise, we actually do those practices here in class with faculty giving you feedback about the competency level that would be expected in the clinic. As we work in that 201, 202 group in that 7 weeks, we're looking at clinical decision-making. We really emphasize that. The physical therapist assistant has the opportunity to make decisions within the plan of care as appropriate. We'll make sure you know that role, and we're going to practice that decision-making, which means sometimes it's a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make a decision, and from there know if we're on the right track or if we need to change course. Our goal within the curriculum is to make sure that our graduates are prepared for the licensure exam, and I'm very proud of our graduates. They've done excellent on that. And to make sure we're ready for that first day of employment. Our employers tell us that our students are, our graduates are, and we're really happy for that because that's the goal. We want to provide our communities with excellent practitioners so they can provide high quality physical therapy services. And then I just had a question slide that I will stop sharing and find out if anyone has any questions for us.
Sue, I will, we do have a couple questions, but I have a couple questions first. You know, as the program chair, a faculty member of the program, what kind of backgrounds usually see students have that, you know, they were maybe doing this, but now they're interested in becoming a physical therapy? What are maybe some of the hobbies, education backgrounds?
Yep. So the first thing is you probably like physical activity in some way. So maybe you walk on a regular basis, maybe you have more additional sports interests, because that seems to be something that we're very excited and interested in how the body works, and especially how it moves. So sometimes people come in with exercise science or kinesiology backgrounds. That's really helpful. However, if you don't have that background, but you're really interested in helping work with people in a rewarding way and being able to help them regain their functional activity, then it's okay, because I'll be honest, we've had students in here that had math degrees or had taken a couple of classes in humanities and then decided they found physical therapy and loved it. So if you don't have that background, it's okay. You'll find if you have an exercise or kinesiology background, it's really helpful. But you're also going to see we're going to take it to another level to say, what does the practitioner need in order to understand this material at a different level, so I can make decisions about my content knowledge in the moment when I'm working with the patient directly. So if you're excited about how the human works, here's my thing. I think physical therapy professionals are human body mechanics. We like to figure out what's going wrong and how can we make a difference. So problem solving.
That's great, Sue. And, you know, I was just thinking, this is really a cohort-based program, right? So the students that come in, you know, they stay with the same student group the whole year in the program. You know, what can you share with people that are considering making a professional change, a life change? You know, really what that experience is like when you get together with a cohort, and probably for better or worse, you're with them, you know, for a year. You know, what do you hear from the students at the end of that about, you know, just the things that they've had to say about that experience?
The students really like the cohort model because you have a better chance to develop deeper relationships with each other. And a lot of our graduates are friends after. They keep in contact with each other. It's a support network to try to figure out other things in your career. And it's really neat to see that develop over time. Now, after you spend a lot of time with each other, though, it's important that we have our break weeks. It's just like family. Sometimes you need to take a time out and say, I love you, but I don't want to be next to you right now. And that's okay too, because the underlying thing is we're building professional teams. And through that, we work through the really good times and we work through the challenging times. And that develops a different relationship with your classmates on the way out the door and into your profession.
Yeah, I can imagine. And, you know, I said it when we started, Sue, but you, right now, you're actually in the PTA classroom / lab.
Yep.
We can see over your shoulders. You know, what can you tell the people that are with us today about really the classroom / lab experience, as everything's right there?
Yeah, so our model has always been that we had lecture and lab in the same room, so we didn't have to venture to a different space. And that's on purpose. We want our desks to look like they're the treatment tables. It looks like you're in a clinic. We have other items around the room that look like you're in a real clinic to put that context there. It also gives us the opportunity to talk about something and then practice it right away. And that really helps with learning. So for example, in kinesiology, when Sam is one of our best friends, we're going to go through and find all these wonderful landmarks on a surface anatomy is what it's called. So I'm going to find these landmarks. I'm going to find the bone. So for example, I'm touching my ulnar head, the head of the ulnar right now. And that's easy to find on me. So that's why I put it up there. I'm going to use that. I'm going to practice on each other. I'm going to talk about it in class, and then we're going to turn right around at our desk and do it. If we had to do something with the hip or the back, you can just hop right up on that table, get on your stomach or on your back, and we can do these things in the moment to help that content become more alive for you and make more sense.
And it's, at least my view, Sue, it's a little bit dark, but
oh, I can go turn the light on again.
Your lab is 2 years old, 3 years old. I mean, and with the pandemic, I was just giving a tour last week, and I said it's technically 2 years old, but you know,
there.
It's
I say,
there we go.
The lights are motion sense, so we've been here, and I wasn't moving around a lot. So here now it's brighter.
So yeah, a great spot. And one of the questions that we had that came in from some in the audience was whether or not they could take kinesiology over the summer.
Kinesiology is not taken over this summer. It's offered within that PTA cohort. And this is why, because as we learn that material, we're going to turn right around the other courses and you're going to apply it. So we want those to be close together. Plus in that class, we wear lab clothes. So we have to expose body parts. And it's probably better that you do that with the cohort of students you've developed the relationship with. Because we want that sensitivity that we also have to recognize when we're working with patients in the clinic. So we work on all those skills together and it builds on each other.
Perfect. I could see from semester to term to term to term, you know, as you talked through that, maybe a squiggly line, not a straight one, but things really interconnected.
Mm-hmm. That alignment's so important for helping us understand the why. Why are we learning this? What does it matter?
And I feel like I'm a news anchor right now, like I'm going to back to Madeline on assignment in the experience room. Madeline, is your sound improved?
I believe that it has. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Being quiet and cutting again.
Okay. I'll try to talk louder.
Right there is perfect.
Okay, perfect. So normally I work with traditional BSN, but as we transition Caitlin, who was sitting here, into her new role, I'm assisting. So I'm going to go over some admissions requirements for the program. The admissions process is in 2 different steps. The first step would be admission to the college, and then the second step is admission to the program. So the first thing that you need to do is to apply to the college. The application is fully online and it is 100% free. Once we receive your application, within a couple of days, Caitlin is going to send you an email detailing everything that we need from you, transcripts from any past institutions, as well as where to send those transcripts. And after we receive those, Caitlin is going to review them for admission to the college. And I want to emphasize that admission to the college does not guarantee admission to the program, as program admission requirements have a different level. So moving on to the next step, which is the program admission requirements. Successful completion of prerequisites require prior to the technical portion of the program. So this would have to be completed before you would start. And you must earn a grade of a C or higher within these following courses, including human anatomy with a lab, human physiology with a lab, medical terminology, English composition 1, developmental psychology, and a college level math course being college level algebra or higher. And with these courses, you must have an extracted GPA of a 2.8 or higher, and medical terminology is not included in that GPA calculation. You must also have core requirements completed prior to the beginning of the PTA major, excluding those servant leadership and pathophysiology, of course. But like Sue said, it is helpful to have those completed before as well, but it is not required. So a little bit about admission procedure. Applications are accepted at any time during the year, so you can apply now, today. Class size is limited, and the PTA program is going off of rolling admission. So this means that the admissions committee is going to review those completed applications in the order that they are received. And then another step of program admission would be an observation hours, 24 hours of observation within physical therapy departments, and it needs to be at least 2 levels of care. And for example, this could include an outpatient physical therapy clinic, an acute care hospital, and a skilled nursing facility, and any equivalent work experience in rehabilitation might be accepted for this to fulfill that observation experience as well. And you will see those observation forms by Sue, the program chair, after you are admitted to the college. And then the last step would be participating in a required program information session hosted by Sue. So those are the admissions requirements. If there's any questions on those, I am ready to answer.
That is perfect. I just avoided speaking with my mute button on, so I still have that going. So that's fantastic. So, really, Madeline, what I'm hearing from you is, number one, the application is a 2-step process. Students will apply to the college, and once you apply to the college, we'll start helping you through the process. The application is free, so it's a free application. Takes maybe 15 to 20 minutes, Madeline, to fill out. Once we receive the application, your file is live with us, and we start helping you through that second step of the process, from assessing your transcripts, looking at the transfer credit that you may be bringing in, the prerequisite courses for our PTA program, and the steps that will go thereafter to be considered for the program.
Yeah, and it is a lot of steps, a lot of
So once we've received your application, we will begin working with you to make sure it's completed. Our offices are open. You can stop in for a visit. We can meet this way via Zoom. We can talk via phone. We are accessible to meet with anybody interested in this program. If you come downtown to the campus and you want to venture over where Sue's at and see Sam in the lab, we can take you there. All of our campus visit days that we have on our website at mchs.edu/visit. You can sign up for an in-person visit, an online visit. You can get a hold of us at admissions@mchs.edu, and we're happy to help you out however we can. So there's many ways. There's only one way to apply. You need to go to our website, www.mchs.edu/apply, and get your application in today, and we'll start working with you. So I'm going to pause and see if there are any other questions that are coming in on our Facebook Live page. But again, it's our 1-year accelerated physical therapy assistant program. We've taken it, as Sue said, from a 5-semester program down to 3. There are prerequisites that you need to complete beforehand, but you might already have them done. So fill out our application and let us start looking at your transcripts and seeing where your prior learning is at. Again, Sue said she really refers to people that pursue physical therapy work as body mechanics. So if you can see yourself as a body mechanic, you're the perfect fit for our physical therapy assistant program. Sue, I'm going to turn to you for any final words as we wait for any more questions to come in.
Thank you. I just want to say that I think physical therapy is one of the most exciting professions that exist. You can work in so many different settings and impact so many lives. And I am so proud of our graduates who have gone out into their communities and really made a big difference. We take so many things for granted when we're able-bodied. And when some injury happens or a condition that we have that changes our functional abilities, our world changes. And we want to be there walking alongside people, helping them live their fullest potential. And it's so rewarding. So please consider joining us. You will love it.
I was not on mute, but I muted myself. Maybe that's time that we should wrap up. Thank you, Sue and Madeline, for joining me today. For all of our followers of our Facebook page at Mercy College of Health Sciences, we're looking forward to helping students move forward in this program. Couldn't be a better change to get our graduates into the Central Iowa workforce any sooner. So from here, we are ready to sign off. Sue, thank you so much. Madeline, thank you very much. Look forward to helping everybody and have a great day.